You already know what time it is. It's your boy DJ Richie Skye back with some tea, interviews, recaps, and more. And be sure to check the links in the description of this video for trips, for books, one-on-one sessions, and more. Now let's get into the tea. What's going on, Sky Squad? What is going on? We are back in the building. Let me adjust a couple of settings on here. I hate that there's this like little glare right there, but we're going to make it do what it do. What is happening, y'all, my people? I'm going to put your comments on the screen. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We got DC in the building, Hotlanta. You know, that's what I'm loving about Basketball Wives this season is that it does get your pressure up. I feel like that's when you know a show is hitting. You know what I'm saying? When it gets you just angry, it gets you stirred up. Something is going on in your spirit. I don't know that Jackie would interview with me. You know what I'm saying? I think you got I think Jackie might, interview with people at a certain level, and I'm just over here doing my own little thing. What's going on? We got the Caribbean in the building. What's going on? Columbia, South Carolina. What's up, Cancer Bestie? How you doing? Orlando's in here, Birmingham, Ohio, Cleveland. A lot of Ohio's in the building. England, the UK. What's up? Yo, shout out to our we might have to talk about this. Our fam in England. Y'all got the Biz Na'e going on with this new trailer for Real Housewives of London. Have y'all seen that? Like, that just came out. I think it was today. I just happened to see it this morning. And it actually looks pretty good. Now, it comes out, August 18th, I believe. Let me pull it up real quick since we talking about the UK. Stand by. Shout out to our friends over at Queens of Bravo. Real Housewives of London will premiere on August 18th on Hayu with Dorinda Medley and Caroline Stanbury popping in for guest appearances. I mean, based on the trailer, I'm gonna tell y'all, it's giving. Like it's given interesting. I'm actually interested to see it. So we'll be trying to tune in for that if we can. I love the UK anyway, so I'm definitely going to be watching. Sorry, y'all. I ended up putting up the wrong thing. Let me take this off the stage. Let me add this. This is it right here. My apologies for that. Yeah, August 18th on Hayu. Now, I don't know how we're going to be able to access that, to be honest with you. But like I said, I do feel like this is something I want to see. I'm interested. And, Atlanta Housewives is going to be off at that point in time. All we're kind of left with right now is Orange County and Miami. I like Miami. I actually like it a lot. A little disturbed by what's going on with Guerdy on there and Julia and that whole situation. But once I get the tea on how we can watch this, then I shall report back. All right. So I wanted to show you guys that too, because, I thought it was exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So let me know if you guys are looking forward to that as well. All right. Thank you so much for the super chat. Bruce says that Jackie would definitely interview with you. I mean, I have so many questions, man. I have so many questions. So many questions. All right. So many questions. Even when they're arguing, it sounds polite. Yeah. I think the Salt Lake City should be starting soon. Just real quick, I did post a new video on my Go Digital with Richie channel. If you're interested in learning about how to get started on YouTube and you're looking to monetize your YouTube channel, like right when you first start, I basically break down the ways that you can monetize your YouTube channel, even if you don't have a lot of followers, even if you don't meet the threshold for monetization. I show you exactly what you can do right from the start of building your channel or starting where you are right now. Literally just about every day I've been posting a video on there with like complete full lessons and breakdowns and basically showing you how to do each step by step, and you can get everything done that you need to get done. All right, so now that we got the housekeeping out of the way, I'm sure that people that come in later are going to be like, when is the tea going to start? Because these folks be impatient, baby. They be impatient. Yes, Salt Lake City. They did a promo for Salt Lake City at the beginning of the Real Housewives of Orange County episode, so that will definitely be coming up very, very soon, and we'll probably recap that as well. All right, so I want to take you guys over now that we're getting into the tea of it all. I want to take you over to Brit Eady's Instagram page. Give me 1 second. Because Brit Eady happened to post her reunion look. I was hoping that she would do this. So I'm excited to see it. Just to give you guys the rundown of what that looks like, we're going to add that right here. Personally speaking, I love the look. I think it is a complete winner. This reunion look would have easily been in my top 3, if not top 2, if not number 1. I mean, something about it to me, I feel like the theme, the styling, everything works. The hair is very soft. It's not doing too much. Emphasis is really on the dress. And I don't feel like the dress is wearing her. I feel like she's wearing the dress and they both complement each other well. I also feel like I love what they did with the visuals here. It definitely is giving like Golden Goddess vibes. And shout out to Paris for, doing the doggone thing with this look. And if nothing else, I know that she is done with the show, but I think I might have shown up to the reunion just to look good. Okay? Just to look good. But here is her final message to all with regards to that. She basically says, as I close this chapter, I want to thank everyone who supported me, my friends, my followers, my amazing team, and everyone who defended my name. I decided to walk away from something that no longer serves me because I choose peace over destroying my mental. It's very easy to say what I should have done when most have not walked a day in my shoes. I choose me, and a lot of people can't say they chose themselves. I still have a lot of healing left to do, but you can't heal in the same place that made you sick. I don't owe anyone closure. I only owe myself to do what's best for me. My journey here is done. Signed, Brit. Here's what I will say. I mean, again, great looks, great reunion looks. Here's what I will say about that. There have been not many, but there have been quite a few housewives that have left of their own accord. And I do think that it does say something about you when you can choose to leave the way that you want to leave. And maybe it wasn't the way she necessarily wanted to leave, but I do think that at the end of the day, on a personal note, outside of what it is that we do on this channel, you got to make the decisions that's best for you. At the end of the day, you got to make the best decisions for yourself. Now, do I think that she could have easily overcome a lot of what had happened? Yes, I do. So, I just think that it does, right? I just think that you write your own ticket when you decide to leave. Do the reunion, say what you need to say, and then bounce. Because there was nothing really to me in that reunion that came up that she could not have handled, personally speaking. But given the fact that she'd also experienced a death in the family, I also kind of feel like maybe some of that has something to do with it as well. Because when you lose somebody like that, it just changes your entire thoughts and your perspective. So, you know, um, I guess at this point, it's simply arrivederci. We're done with that particular story. She's done with it. So we move on at this point. All right. Speaking of moving on, I wanted to tell you guys, since we're doing basketball wives today, I wanted to tell you guys that basketball wives will end with no reunion this season. Let me go ahead and say this because I need to. Let me reserve my opinion. I want to read you the caption on the Jasmine brand because I'm gonna let you guys know why I'm frustrated. Um, it says the Jasmine brand exclusively reports that season 12 will allegedly end with no reunion special. While sources tell us that it's highly unlikely the ladies will come together to reflect and possibly hash things out, it's unclear why the reunion was reportedly axed. Okay. Now, we know that the intense drama really has centered around Jennifer and Evelyn, and then Chantel and Jackie. But to be honest with you, I know that they may just be following the format that Love and Hip Hop follows, where they no longer do reunions. I do think it's a bit of a catastrophe, but my problem with this is that after a season like this that has been so like oddly chaotic, this is the season that could have used a sit down specifically with everything that we have seen regarding Chantel and Jackie. There is so much that I feel like we need to clear up and clarify that I just kind of feel like to not have it does a disservice to us, especially if Chantel doesn't come back. And I know a lot of you guys don't want her to come back, but I'm not really of that mindset that I don't want her to come back. I just want her to be a little clearer about what she really wants from Jackie. Like, what is your actual expectation when you decide to come to your mom's job and you don't really get along with her? I mean, like, yes, you are a basketball wife, but if if Jackie's wrong for what I'm gonna get to Jackie in a second because I don't understand her either. But all I can say is I personally think it's a mistake to not have a reunion this season. I have a lot of questions that I would have loved to ask. And I just want to say also too, I don't ever want people to not have a job. That's never my stance, right? But I sometimes feel like with the Basketball Wives reunion, I never in my life really in my mind imagined myself hosting a reunion. But for me, I feel like they need to have someone like a me or any of us that are really engrossed in the show the way that we are in this space to do it because I want to get to the nitty gritty of the issues. And I sometimes feel like the hosts that are there are kind of more or less following maybe a script that's laid out for them or maybe notes that have been given to them. But I don't ever feel like we get any resolution. So for me, um, Kay Avery, I know they had a reunion last season. I know. Um, what I'm saying to you is that this season they need a reunion. Okay. We're not talking about last season per se, but I do think for this season they need it. Love and Hip Hop does not do reunions anymore. So I think that they're now taking that stance and probably just cutting it out altogether. What I think is this is my honest belief. I believe that a lot of networks are cutting back. Oh, thank you for clarifying. Um, a lot of people, I think, a lot of networks right now are they're cutting their content across the board. So like when you go into like just to give you guys some behind the scenes, I do pitch shows, right? Um, so when you talk to people in the industry, you learn that a lot of the times, well, not right a lot of the times, but just right now in the industry, like they're not buying a lot of the shows that they used to be buying, and they're cutting costs and they're cutting shows left and right. So my assessment would be that it could potentially be that it's much cheaper to just continue filming and not necessarily even have a reunion, so you take away that extra production expense and you put that expense go into the next season of filming. That's kind of what I think. But I do think you lose a little bit of that resolution. But if your goal is now to just continue the filming process, and if they're going to call the season 12B, which is probably what they'll do, then that would also mean that those cast members don't necessarily get the season pay bump that they would typically get if they were going into a new season. So if you negotiate for a 20 episode season, then you don't have to have but maybe one reunion if you decide to do it at all. Does that make sense? So I feel like it does at times feel like the TikTokification of the shows and things that we actually love, but that's just the state of the industry right now, I think because of the economic climate that we're currently in. You know, advertisers don't wanna spend as much as they used to spend, ergo, shows don't necessarily have the budgets that they used to have. So, that in my mind is probably what is going on more so than anything else, because I do feel like if the plan is let's just keep filming, then we don't necessarily have to have a reunion. In which case, if you're not going to really resolve anything, as to my point earlier, then I just kind of feel like I guess it's for the best if you're not going to really get anything resolved. But do you guys feel the same way? Um, because I mean, for me, I do feel like this season deserved a reunion. But shout out to the Jasmine brand for that, because I'm glad that we know this now, because my expectations have been altered, and I needed to know that, right? All right, so um, let's get into the episode. Um, I like this comment. No reunions tend to make me feel like a show. It does remind you of a run-on sentence with like just random commas placed in different places, right? That's how it feels. Um, that is usually my biggest criticism, also too, with the Love and Marriage franchise. They completely do that show a disservice, in my opinion, because when you do the A season and the B season, you lose momentum for what's actually happening in real time, when now the season that comes out last is literally the season that probably gets gypped the most, because the action has already been so long ago. By the time the show airs again, you're kind of like, all right, well, we already knew that happened because we saw it on social media. And the fact that they filmed the reunion right after, you don't really get to hear what the audience thinks of what happened on the show. It's literally just what the cast members and production know happened on the show. But what if something happens on social media with one of the castmates? You don't really get to see that interaction. You don't get to show the cast reacting to that. So the timeliness of the show is diminished, because the filming process has just it's just not, to me, um it's just not ideal to me personally. But I do think that that's why they film back to back, so they don't have to wait, which is the Love and Hip Hop franchise, right? They don't have to wait. But I digress. I digress. Let's get into the episode because there's a lot to discuss. And I am taking my time a bit today. So for those of you guys that want something quick, fast, and in a hurry, I don't do that. All right. This episode is episode 10 of season 12. It's called Go Deadbeat Go. The fact that Britney is calling somebody's mama a deadbeat and that person is sitting there clapping, it's still wild to me. But anyway, Ming struggles to maintain peace on the girls' trip. Evelyn tries to clear her name with Chantel, but Chantel is focused on coming for Jackie. Brittany disrespects Brandy, and Ty exposes Ming's secret. I'm trying to determine who the MVP of this episode is. And I want to say, I'm looking at y'all comments. JJ Fad need to break up. Yes, thank God. I mean, because I can't, I'm just not that hit it and quit it person. You know what I'm saying? Um, yep, episode 10. So, okay. Who is your MVP of this episode if you happen to catch it? Is it Ty or is it me? So let me tell you why I feel like if I had to pick my top 3 in this I don't know, man. I don't know. A couple of people had some moments that I just was like, "Ooh, this is good. This is good." Um, I felt like Ty is in the running because I like that she just refused to alienate Jackie. This is the show that Jackie started. I mean, to be quite frank, Jackie has been the show. And whether you like her or not, whether Chantel likes her or not, whether Evelyn likes her or not, Jackie has been the centerpiece of this particular aspect of the franchise since they've been in LA. Okay. So, despite Jackie's wrongdoings, I just feel like to try to alienate her as they do literally every other season is wild to me. And I understand Ty's position. And I'm glad she stood in her element. And I'm glad she was recognizing something about Chantel is that, girl, you are not so much different from your mom. Ty clocking it. Ty is clocking it. Ming, because what I loved about Ming in this episode was Ming did not hold her cards for anybody. Anybody could get it, right? She's going to hold Jackie accountable. She's going to hold JJ Fad accountable. For those of you guys who may not have caught last week, we have deemed the big 3, aka Chantel, Brittany, and Denise. They JJ Fad because y'all too new here to be trying to run around doing the things to be trying to regulate and stuff like that, calling themselves the queens, right? For as much as I feel like everybody kind of coddled Chantel in this episode, she ain't running this thing, right? She's not, but she's trying to. She's completely trying to. And to be quite frank with you, I understand if you got an issue with your mama, but you can't tell these ladies that have had a 10-year plus relationship with your mama, whether it's good or bad or indifferent. They've been co-workers with this woman for this long. Everybody knows how this show works. The show really does not work when people try to isolate other people. We've seen it. It doesn't work, right? It never works for the larger group that's doing the isolating because now you have typically made the person that you are isolating, whether they were the victim or or the villain, you've now made them the underdog, and everybody loves an underdog. So whatever it is that you are trying to do, you would be better served by handling the issue on your own versus trying to run around and collect allies. That's crazy to me. So Ming, I loved it. She was giving it, and She gave it to Denise. She gave it to Jackie. She was giving it to Ty. Ty was giving it to her. Um, Brandy kind of takes it because she's still doing what she does best, the sticking her foot in her mouth, involving herself, where needed, in my opinion, right? Unlike Denise, where it's not needed. And I feel like she stands up for herself. I love that. Evelyn had the one moment, man, the one moment where I was like, yes, please shut her up, where she literally took Denise to task, like, girl, shut up. Nobody wants to hear from you right now. And girl, you're hoarse. That should be a sign from the Lord above that you shan't be talking right now. Why are you even involving yourself in something that has nothing to do with you between two women who clearly are capable of handling their own arguments? You and your raspy whisper, just sit down, shut up, and eat your food tonight. Okay? That's basically what Evelyn was trying to tell her. Like, girl, stay out of it. Stay out of it. Okay. Now, let's get into the actual episode in and of itself. I am going to give this episode a 10. I'm going to give it a 10. Rate it in the chat. Let us know what you would rate it. The reason why I'm going to give this episode a 10 is because there were so many little moving parts. There were so many things that I felt like I could pick out from this episode that were kind of finally being addressed, exposed, and talked about. Stuff that we have been talking about, somebody else is finally saying. Brandy finally said what we have all been thinking, that Britney is taking out her own issues with her mother on Jackie. It's not fair. Despite the fact that Chantel has been your BFF for 2.5 seconds, it doesn't matter. You still shouldn't be calling her mama a deadbeat, because you don't really know that lady like that. You ain't been around long enough to know that lady like that. You ain't even been around to know Chantel like that, to be quite frank with you. So to call somebody else's mama a deadbeat when that person is sitting there right beside you, I don't know how Chantel in her right mind hadn't clocked you upside your head for calling her mama a deadbeat. Like that, that baffles my mind. But then again, Chantel is also running around calling her mother an MF and bit. Well, I ain't gonna say the word, but BITCH. Y'all know what I'm saying. So I guess it's par for the course. Evelyn, okay, is literally clocking Britney, because while Britney calling people a deadbeat and a BITCH at the table, Everling is literally saying what a lot of people are saying online. And they are saying that, girl, it's the time. I don't know if this is the situation. And I hate to really have this conversation about this woman and her religion. But, the people are wondering, as Evelyn stated in the episode, did you convert to this specific religion because that is what the man that you were, because your man? Is that why you did this? Because it seems as though there are things that you are saying and doing and ways that you are acting that aren't necessarily aligned with the public's perception of what that religion calls for from you, right? So if you're coming into my expectation of Britney coming into this season, knowing where she is in her walk or assuming where she was in her walk. So maybe I am the ASS because I was assuming that she was going to be a very different person. But the person that I am seeing on this season was the same person that I saw at the beginning of the season that she actually started on. And it's no different. So I don't know if now it's different because she's praying or what. I really don't know. But all I know is that Evelyn is literally asking something that I see a lot of people commenting on, especially considering that now, she's definitely changed her approach to it. Specifically with, no longer wearing the hijab. I just don't know. I'm like, All right, there it is. So I the fact that Evelyn is saying it in the episode to me, it's like, oh, okay. So other people on the show are kind of picking up on certain things that people are saying online as well. So, um, I think the technology went out for a second. Blame StreamYard. Okay. Um, Ty clocking Ming and her tattoo that she got of this man that she is barely dating, but not in a relationship with. Now, let me tell y'all something. I love a tattoo, as you guys know. You've seen them on me. I like a tattoo. I like a piercing. I might go get one today. I don't know. What I do know is I don't know how old Ming is. I ain't gonna look it up because, you know, as a Southern gentleman, we are taught to never ask a lady's age, right? So it don't really make a difference. Let's just say she's old enough to be an adult. Okay. Now, at the ripe adult age that I think most of us tend to be, that 30s to 50, 60 range, just probably about this range, we tend to, I don't know, err on the side of caution just a wee bit when it comes to like tattoos and stuff like that, specifically when it be somebody's name. So for me, if you're gonna tattoo, I'm with Jennifer on this one. If you're gonna tattoo your name on somebody's name on your body, I'm gonna need you to be a little bit more serious about them than just a fly by night dating situation as you claim it to be, right? And furthermore, this kind of is confusing to me because it makes me feel like, do I trust what Ming is telling us? Like, I loved her responses to things in this episode because she came across very frank, very clear, very transparent. But what Ty revealed to us in this episode makes me feel like she is actually less than transparent, right? Because it's like, girl, why would you not say that you're in a relationship with some dude while you are playing around like you have some type of leftover residual feelings, maybe not for Ty? But then I go back to it kind of gives this entire season like Ming don't really want to be associated with her anyway. So I don't really know what that situation is really given, to be honest with you. I don't know. All I know is that they was calling each other out, okay? And they was going back and forth at the dinner. Okay, so let's talk about the real chaos of the episode. The beginning of this episode, we have a sit down conversation with Jennifer and Brandy about the blow up from the previous night's dinner. And Jennifer had went to go talk to Jackie, and we learned that Jennifer tells us that Jackie will only have a conversation with Chantel on her YouTube channel. Jackie, you don't want to have a conversation with her on the show that she is on, that you have been on for over a decade, that you're both being paid for. Now, I know I tell y'all all the time, start a YouTube channel. Okay, everybody should have one. And I still stand by that. But riddle me how it makes more sense for you to have that conversation on your YouTube channel versus the show that you're on that's supposed to be showcasing your life, that you've obviously either convinced your daughter to be on or she wanted to be on, and then we would be able to see it versus having it on your YouTube channel, which do we even know if that's in existence in terms of like interview? Like, would you even have been able to do that? Like, would it have been like a conflict of interest? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Maybe Jackie was saying that she would want that to be filmed with just the two of them as the VH1 cameras are filming like they filmed her talk show. That's the only thing that I can potentially assume, because otherwise that sounds nonsensical to me and I don't get it. I don't get it. Don't make sense to me. Don't make sense to nobody else either. Brandy receives this information. Ming has divided the group up into 2 Pacific groups for the day in Hawaii. One group is Ming, Jackie, Denise, and Jennifer, I believe. Okay. And so in that group, they go underwater they do something under the water. So they got to get on a boat to do it. And lo and behold, you know, Ming does try to, ask Jackie about like, hey girl, like, why don't you try to get this thing together with your daughter or whatever like that. And Jackie asks all the girls, well, do y'all believe I love my daughter? And Denise, of course, is like, no, I don't believe you love your daughter. And so the other girls, that's Brandy, Everlyn. I need a new name for Britney because I need a new name for her because I find it hard to take Britney seriously, to be honest with you. Because I'm like, are you playing with with the religion? Anyway, and Ty, I think, is in that group. I be forgetting about Ty sometimes. I don't know how. Okay. Um, I be infatuated every time I see it on my screen, like, hi. Anyway. Not sham. um anyway, so during this outing, they're going what looks to be like some type of canoeing exercising, kayak exercising. And so they go out and they do their thing, but Brandy tells Everlyn, oh, I'm sorry, Chantel, the leader of the Supremes, is in that group. JJ Fad #1. She's in this group as well. So aside, Brandy talks to Everlyn, tells Everlyn that Jackie said she would talk to Chantel on her YouTube channel. Aghast and shocked, Everlyn then runs to Chantel, tells her she wants to pull her to the side for a mini ponderosa, then tries to clear the air with her about what Denise has said about her last week about her trying to start some mess with using Chantel. Everlyn clears that up, but then lets Chantel know that Jackie said that she will have a conversation with you on her YouTube channel. Similar to the impressionable comment, Chantel is livid. She is ready to explode, and she has to bounce. She can't take it anymore. To be quite honest with you, the more I think about it, Chantel and Jackie are very much similar in the fact that they will leave a scene real nice and quick. I have to wonder if the apple really falls far from the tree. I mean, I don't know them, but I'm saying that usually there's a little bit of similarity where there's a lot of disdain, right? Like they say, there's a thin line between love and hate. And they are tiptoeing and teetering on that line. They are punani popping on that line, okay? So Chantel then runs back and she has a conversation with Jennifer. And she wants to know the tea from Jennifer's own mouth. Jennifer tells her that Jackie did say this and that Jackie is planning to potentially exercise grandparents' rights, which means that as a grandparent, then Jackie is legally trying to be able to still see her grandchild, even if Chantel does not want her to have a part of her life, right? Apparently, this is a thing. I didn't know it was a thing. We later learned that Britney's mother tried to do the same thing with her. Ergo, she is punishing Jackie for everything that her mom has done. Okay. So now Chantel is extra livid. And while she has not asked people to take sides, she now wants them to take sides. And I'm thinking to myself, again, as Jennifer is stating to her, girl, I'm really not trying to be in the middle of y'all's family drama. Like, I do feel like if Chantel has an issue with her mom, okay, fine. But to try to wrangle everybody else into your issue is almost like you're trying to alienate your mom on a show that she started. I mean, if you don't like your mom, then why would you do this show? Like, you're really upset about your mom wanting to exploit her issues with you, but you are on a show where the issues with your mom are being exploited. If that is how you're looking at it. If the YouTube is going to exploit the drama, then so is this show. They are doing the same thing. Granted, Jackie's idea is bonkers. It is. It's nonsensical. But the outcome is the same. Both aspects are being monetized. So your drama is being monetized. The only difference is you both get a check now. If it was done on her YouTube channel, only she would get the check. How about that? Anyway, so now Chantel wants to take things to HE double hockey sticks. All right. Dinner time comes. It's time for the girls to sit down for dinner. This is another instance. This is where, Britney ends up calling. Well, actually, it's another instance where Jackie ends up running off because she doesn't really want to discuss the issues with her mom about Chantel. So she runs off yet again. That'd be the only thing that be getting me about Jackie. Is like, I love Jackie, but Jackie, you can't keep running from the issues, especially when you are the main one having ponderosas to get other people's issues out. It can't be a situation where every time you want to have everybody discuss their issues and put them on the table, that you get to reign supreme, while when it's time for you to handle your issues with your daughter, then you end up running like a chicken with its head cut off. It can't be like that. You gotta pick a struggle, man. You have got to pick a struggle. And to be honest with you, every time you end up getting into it with your daughter, the fans usually end up siding with you. So in my opinion, you running away is a waste of time because the audience has generally been on your side. Not saying that Chantel doesn't have a leg to stand on with her issues, because I'm sure she does. We just don't understand them. You have the benefit of history. So exercise that. Chantel does not. So even if you sat there and let her scream at you, at the end of the day, it would benefit you more to stay in the situation than it does for you to leave. And to be quite frank with you, there is absolutely no way that I would be running away from a show that I actually started on and this person is new. Daughter or no daughter. I just wouldn't. You're not going to run me off. You'll be the one to run off first, not me. Not happening. So after Jackie runs off, all of the girls are like, oh, we're riding with you, Chantel. We're riding with you. Jackie can't come on the boat because you don't want her on the boat. I'm looking at them like, that's crazy to me. This is insane. Regardless of how you feel about Jackie, regardless of how you feel about Chantel, at the end of the day, Ming, I actually think that you needed to be a bit more responsible as the host of this trip and not leave anybody out. Now, if you choose to not be around someone, Chantel, that is your choice. But you will not get to dictate my trip and tell me who I should be kicking off of my activities. If you can't handle yourself in the face of adversity, then don't come. End of story. Like, are we adults? Are we children? Like, it was given very much like, I'm riding with Chantel. I'm riding. You can't ride with somebody that's not driving. She is a passenger too. What are you talking about? Are you riding with? Get out of here. That sounds absolutely insane to me. And you could be on whomever side you want to be on. But if JJ Fad and they don't want to come on the trip, girl, don't come on the trip. Actually, all three of y'all just got here. These other girls been making the magic happen for seasons now. If anything, y'all three are annoying. They belong on Basketball Wives Orlando. Quiet as it's kept. Literally. Regina George. That is Chantel at this point. Um, Crazy. So anyway, they do the boat thing. Ty having the foresight, I think that Ty is like seeing things clearly in this situation. So she invites Jackie to the boat thing. Jackie says she's gonna go, which is good. Um, then Chantel gets a little upset when she finds out that it was Ty that invited Jackie to the boat. And like, girl, what? Like, who cares? Like, if you are so grown, you got to be able to deal with these people that you don't like, because at the end of the day, we all have to do it. We all at some point in time have to be around somebody that we don't like. But as adults, we just do it and get it over with. Like, don't talk to her. If you don't want to if you don't want to say nothing to her, it don't look like Jackie's running to chase you down to speak to you anyway. So to be quite frank with you, you shouldn't have any issues. Your time is not more valuable than everybody else's. Your peace of mind is actually no more important than anybody else's. So if your peace of mind is that important, then you should probably stay back at the compound. Actually, if your peace of mind is really like where it's at, then you probably should not do this show. Shows like this don't bring you peace of mind. They will add dollars to your bank account, but they're not gonna bring you no peace of mind. Okay, I don't care who you are on what show. It's not gonna bring you no peace of mind. So if that's what you're looking for, then babe, I'm sorry. You might just want to just go be Chantel. Get a YouTube channel, like I tell everybody. But don't do this show with your mama if you know that you don't like her. And again, I don't dislike Chantel. That's what's funny about this. I actually like her, but it is funny to see her because I don't know if you guys remember first season of Basketball Wives Los Angeles. Jackie worked super hard to get Drea isolated out of the group. It feels to me like Chantel has become season 1 Jackie working overtime to get Jackie out of the group. And that is why I say that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That is why Ty clocked it when Chantel confronted Ty about bringing Jackie. Ty clocked it and said, you are not that much different from your mother. That was a word right there. Now, I'm not saying that they the same type of mother. I'm just saying that they in group dynamics, in social situations, in social settings, sociologically speaking, you are acting like your mother. Okay, so there's another dinner that's to be had. All right. In this dinner, we are confronting several issues. One, Britney, her face is completely wrapped up in this scene, refuses to give Brandy any apology at all for calling her a bitch, to which JJ Fab member number 3 pipes in. Denise, aka JJ Fab member number 3, pipes in, is like, well, I don't think she owes her an apology. And so Ming is like, what are you saying then? So if I call you a bitch, and she basically calls her that. If she says, if I tell you to shut the F up, bitch, then I don't have to apologize for it. And Denise is sitting there looking, her face is stuck on stupid. And Evelyn has to tell her, like, girl, like, shut up. Like, you keep inserting yourselves in this drama right here between Britney and Brandy. And honestly, it's not necessary. Like, I don't know if Britney had decided that she was not going to speak now that her face is covered, or what, and that Denise was going to be her mouthpiece. But Denise, girl, this ain't the time for you. Like settle, like sit on down. And I love that Ming is like confronting the issues. Like, y'all sit up here, JJ Fad, y'all sit up here like y'all some type of broke down Destiny's Child, and y'all not. Y'all all ride for each other in a way that feels just unnatural, meaning y'all just started hanging out together. And I get it. The new girls will likely bond, especially if they're around the same age. It makes sense. I totally get it. But at the same time, you still got to be able to stand on your own in this type of show, right? I get it. We saw it on Atlanta, the alliance of it all. But, shows do better when you do not have a set alliance. I'm going to tell you that right now. Portia was correct when she says that an alliance will destroy a show, which is why you saw what you saw with Married to Medicine this past season. When you guys have a pack and when you have a pack like that and y'all turn into Mean Girls against one or two people, it don't work. The audience is turned off. Nobody likes to see that type of behavior. Even if you remain one of my favorite characters, I don't like what you're doing right now. So it never really works for the audience, and it doesn't work for the show. What works best for the show is when every person stands on their own. They have their own opinions. They fight their own battles, and they mix it up. Anybody can get it. That is what makes for a really good show. That's what the audience wants to see. We don't want to see these little group and gaggles of mean girls and mean guys and ganging up on people. We don't want to see that no more. Like that period of time is over. We ain't never liked it then anyway when they was doing it. And I don't understand why the people on these shows haven't quite figured that out yet, because y'all all grown adults and y'all been on these shows for a long time. So y'all being paid enough that you should know that you don't need to do that. And it's not even entertaining. But you would know that if you got out from between Chantel's butt cheeks long enough, you would know that. I mean, and maybe it's nice up there in the butt cheeks. I don't know. Maybe it's warm, it's safe, it's cozy. I don't know. But get out of the butt cheeks. Now, oh, Jackie don't even show up at this dinner. Jackie is probably planning her next YouTube video. I don't know. All I know is she didn't come, and Mean walks off, and the episode ends. We do get a preview for next week where I do see Chantel put her hands on her mama. So now I don't know about y'all, but it ain't never occurred to me to put my hands on my parents. It ain't never occurred to me to actually put my hands on. Well, there was this one time I wanted to punch my cousin, but I don't believe in violence. So we might have had a stern talking, but I just don't recall a time where I felt like where I felt safe enough to think that I was gonna put my hands on my mama or my daddy. I just can't think. Even though I was definitely taller than my dad. I was bigger than my dad was. Never would have thought. It never actually even occurred to me. That's so foreign to how I would think. Like, that seems so like, oh my God, like, who does that? Well, apparently Jackie and Chantel do. So we'll just have to see if we're gonna be able to see exactly what happens. Is Jackie gonna put the hurting on that girl or nah? I don't know. She was definitely living dangerously. Okay. She was definitely living dangerously. More dangerous than she was living on the edge. Okay. And I don't know if I don't feel safe for her. I don't feel so. It don't feel safe. It don't feel safe. So y'all, that's what's going on. Basketball Wives. I gave it a 10 out of 10 for this week. It was very interesting to me. It was intense. The pressure was definitely up. The pressure was definitely up in this episode. All right. So listen, thank you guys for tuning in, tapping in. I hope that you like this video. If you can smash that like button, I would absolutely love it because it does help the engagement. If you guys haven't subscribed to this channel, go ahead and do that. Make sure you guys also subscribe to the Go Digital with Richie channel. We do talk about how to monetize your YouTube channel. I give you some quick and easy ways to get monetized as soon as you start your YouTube channel. All that you need to do is be consistent and execute. And in this video right here, which is the latest video on the channel, we do go into the specific ways that you can actually get this done quick, easy, and in a hurry. I will be making videos on this channel all month, and then I will be starting a membership group for people who want to actually do it. You want help in real time with your videos, because I know people need to make extra income, and I think that YouTube is just a great way to make some additional income. And I can teach you how to double and triple your income with these videos. That video right there and every video that's come before it has been focused on simply that, helping you monetize your YouTube channel with either digital products, affiliate products, or whatever the case may be. So if you have questions, definitely tap in, subscribe. I want to grow the channel as much as possible because I want to help as many people as possible. Because I get that question, I get questions about YouTube a lot, especially in my emails. So this is probably the best way to get some of those questions answered. All right. With that being said, I will catch you all in the next video.